All right, nerds, strap in. We've got rough waters ahead. This is the rumor mill. Things are about to get turbulent. This is the rumor mill section that comes from the larger episode over on the main channel at Generally Nerdy on YouTube or just Generally Nerdy on Rumble. You can go check it out there. This is just the rumors, all of the rumors and nothing but the rumors. None of this is substantiated just yet. Otherwise, it would be news and not rumors. So without further ado, let's get into this crazy rumor mill. And that brings us to the rumor mill. In the rumor mill, we've got some Batman confirmation, kind of. We have Phase 5 giant rumors here. We also have Halo Infinite leaks. Very exciting. So let's get into this. So confirmation, refutations. No, nothing has been refuted just yet. Not exactly, anyway. And actually, honestly, this isn't 100% confirmation, but it is worth noting that James Gunn, according to him, the man in charge of the DCU, has said that no existing Batman will be the Batman for the DCU going forward. So no Christian Bale, no George Clooney, no Val Kilmer, as was previously reported in rumor. But he very explicitly avoided the first part of that rumor, saying that one of those three Batmen is going to cameo in the Flash movie. We already have two Batman in the Flash movie, Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, so very intriguing. I really feel like there is a snippet of potentially Christian Bale, but in the trailer that we all got over the Super Bowl, but I'm probably wrong. Either way, very interesting to think about. We absolutely know it's not Val Kilmer because he can't. We also absolutely know that it's, maybe not absolutely, but it's very unlikely it's going to be George Clooney. So yeah, Christian Bale, Batman, coming for a cameo. I'm down for it. And then, going off the back of that, there was also a rumor or hearsay or something. Somebody's talking about Christian Bale has said that he would be willing to come back for a fourth Christopher Nolan directed Batman movie. So something to think about. We're not going to cover that rumor necessarily directly. Let's get into news sources for old rumors. And that puts us on to Phase 5. There was a giant Cosmic Circus did the whole podcast and they discussed a whole bunch of stuff. These are some of the insiders, quote, that we use for the rumor mill. So let's talk about this. First off, Phase 5 is not going to be exclusively multiverse-centric. Only about half of the movies are going to be directly dealing into the multiverse, even though they're trying to set up a lot of multiversal things for future phases going forward, as we are in the time saga right now, I think is what they refer to it as. So that's the first bit of this rumor. Next, we're talking the movies, or the IPs rather, that will feed into the multiverse is The Marvels, Agatha, Fantastic Four, Deadpool 3, Ant-Man Quantumania, Loki Season 2. That's it. Everything else that's coming out in Phase 5 is going to be relatively self-contained. At the very least, is not going to feed into the multiverse directly. That's not to say that there's not going to be post-credit scenes, again, according to the rumor, but as it stands right now, that is what it is. Then they go on to say, and there's two and-thens to this. The first one is the 838 universe, which their Illuminati is the one that was supposedly killed at the end of the Multiverse of Madness movie. The 838 universe is supposed to be factoring in overall in Phase 5, and it's very heavily affecting the overall plot of Phase 5. So that kind of contradicts the first part of the rumor, but is still a lot of fun to consider. And then also Iron Man from 838 is supposedly going to be revealed at some point, and he's going to be a minor antagonist against the Avengers as we get towards the Avengers Kang Dynasty movie. So wow, that's a lot to unpack. These guys have a very mixed track record. Very mixed. Some of this sounds like a load of hooey. Some of this honestly sounds like planted rumors to throw us off on other things. So taking this as a whole, I'm going to give this about 55% accuracy. I do believe that list. I think there's very probably going to be more, maybe not directly feeding into the multiverse, but at the very least have some sort of multiversal elements to other things beyond just Marvel's Agatha, Fantastic Four, etc., etc. So that I think is incomplete. I think the 838 universe factoring heavily into the overall plot is a bit of a stretch. I don't see that because you gotta make it easy for normies to understand, and that I think is just a bridge too far. I don't think that, maybe it will come back to some degree, sure, but factoring heavily into the overall plot of Phase 5, not freaking likely. Iron Man from 838, that seems a little more plausible, but again, nah, those are the two things that really kill this. So yeah, again, 55% likely that that's a thing. Let's move next to Twisted Metal, not the Showtime / Peacock series, but the game franchise itself. So we have word that Firesprite is the game studio that is developing the game. This is not a new rumor. Actually, I believe this is quasi been substantiated, so it's almost news. But since that is the situation, since they haven't come out and explicitly said they're the studio that's making it, people have gone in and looked at job listings and have been kind of inferring some things. That's where these rumors come from. So one job listing, according to the company, I'm sorry, there's one thing before that. That is, they're going to release the game to coincide with the release of the Peacock series, again starring Anthony Mackie. So there's also a job listing that is looking for somebody with development experience in not only motor vehicle combat, but also on foot combat, meaning there's going to be a very different element to the new Twisted Metal franchise if these rumors are to be believed. There is a lot here that has been mostly substantiated, and this also comes from two pretty good, solid rumor mongers, if you will. So we're putting this one at about 70% likely. This sounds pretty legit. Very probably will be getting some sort of announcement for the Twisted Metal game very soon if this information is to be believed. Next, we are talking about Metroid Prime. So with the announcement of Metroid Prime Remaster, there are two rumors that have followed very closely behind this. First is that Metroid Prime 2 and 3 are both going to be getting re-released, not remastered, but they're going to be on the Virtual Console. So you'll be able to play them, but they're not getting the same treatment as Metroid Prime 1. And then it goes on to say, not just that, but we are also going to be getting an announcement, not the actual release of the game, but an announcement of Metroid Prime 4 by the end of this year. So very probably the Game Awards in December. So this one's a little ways out, but we do have the ability to track its accuracy. So we're going to keep doing that as much as we can. That is what we have for news sources for old rumors. Let's talk about new rumors, shall we? Because we've got a fair amount of rumors to cover. First up, we have Fantastic Four rumor. Two of them, actually. First up is that Mila Kunis is rumored to be playing Sue Storm. This one I can't really buy so much. Just the people involved. Yes, Mila Kunis would check a couple of different boxes as far as like who Sue Storm is on the socially, politically aware kind of elements. But I feel like she's a busier woman than that. And also, this is kind of a huge thing for her to jump into the MCU with. I don't know, it just feels wrong. So we're going 40% with Mila Kunis. But then the other Fantastic Four rumor here is that Penn Badgley, maybe is how you say his name, the guy from You, he is also rumored to have been cast in the movie, but this time in a secret role. So the fact that his role is being kept secret kind of lends to its credence just a little bit. Also, the fact that he's almost having a moment, like not quite as super popular as maybe some other casting choices that they've made in the past, but he's just obscure enough and just young enough that maybe he is being brought in potentially as Doctor Doom, or maybe even Reed Richards, maybe. I think there's slightly better chance that he is being cast than isn't, so we're going to put this one at 55%, so just over that indecision mark. Next is a Star Wars rumor. This one has Yahya Abdul-Mateen II set to star in the Damon Lindelof Star Wars movie that we know is coming. This one I'm just going on gut. 65% likely that this is a thing. Yahya Abdul is gigantic. Star Wars needs star power to get people interested again. I don't know that Damon Lindelof is the guy that's going to do it for us, but Yahya Abdul-Mateen might be the guy to do it for us. So yeah, 65% likely that that's a thing. Next is a gaming rumor. We have Assassin's Creed, the second VR game, is being rumored to be in development. Again, why not? Like, this one comes from a solid source. There's very little substantiable evidence here. So can't give it super high, but I mean, there's very little reason to doubt this. So we're going to say 65% on this one as well. Then we have Starfield. This one's kind of huge. Leaked Starfield release date. The leaked Starfield release date is June 29th of 2023. This is according to GOG Galaxy. They accidentally released the date that they were supposedly given. Now, that is a very peculiar date because Thursdays are not exactly big days for AAA titles to be released. Also, it's kind of soon considering the fact that we have very little to show for the release. So those two factors, I feel like this was legitimately posted on GOG Galaxy. They usually, they release games and things. They're a platform through which you release games. So yes, I believe they were given this date as a placeholder. I don't think that's the actual date. So we're going to put this one at 40% just because there is a slight possibility, just not very good one at all. And then next, we're talking about Halo Infinite and all those leaks. There's been a fairly steady stream of leaked images, which we're going to do in a short this week. But I wanted to kind of touch on the leaks that have to do with like season 3 and beyond. We've talked about future seasons going forward, and some of this is substantiating previous rumors to a certain degree. So we're going to just start at the top of the list. First up is season 3 is going to be infection focused. We already have key art for Infection that is supposedly going to be released during season 3. Will it be the entire season's focus? Probably not. I'm going to venture to say that of the 3-month season, which crossing our fingers that actually happens, of that 3-month season, probably the recurring event is going to be Infection, but it's not going to be the entire season exactly. So does that make sense? Next is there are currently 20 to 28 developer maps being developed. Not all of them are set to release for season 3, according to the leak or rumor, however you want to look at this. Just approximately 3 to 5 are going to be released during season 3, which sounds actually perfect. That is a sweet spot number. I would prefer 5, but if we get 3, I'm still going to be happy because developer maps are always just that little bit better. And my old ass Xbox doesn't take as long to load them as it does the Forge made maps. Next, we have a couple of Forge pieces here. Forge, you're going to have proper AI that you can forge in your map. Also, related to that, there's going to be brutes, elites, and grunts, all spawnable in Forge. Not going to be their final form. It sounds like the AI that they have assigned to those character types is quite dumb and not very difficult to kill at all. But as Forge progresses, that's going to get better and better. And then we have new game mode. Firefight is going to be finding its way into Halo Infinite sometime in the future. This one was very specific to leave off the Season 3 designation, but I mean, it's in Halo Master Chief Collection. It seems adequate that it would also find its way into Infinite. And then also attached to Season 3 this time, we have a new weapon and a new gear type, one of which has previously been leaked. This most recent leak did not specify which of those, so maybe it's the double barrel shotgun. We already know we're getting the Shroud, so this very possibly is referring to the Shroud because that was leaked long before they made the announcement that that was going to be a new gear type. But this could be referring to a couple of other things that I'm honestly drawing a blank right now because they're not directly in the notes. But yeah, so that's the Halo leaks. Like I said, we're looking at 80% likely that this is an accurate list. I will be very surprised if the things that are tagged for Season 3 don't actually find their way into Season 3, and the things that are not specifically tagged for a season don't find their way into the game sometime in the next year to year and a half, I would say. Once again, nerds, that was a short section that comes from a longer video on the main channel, Generally Nerdy, YouTube or Rumble. Take your pick, I'm on both. You can go find it there. You can go find all of the other news there as well, including the live episode. We do a live episode roughly once a week, every Friday evening. You can join the conversation live, or you can just leave comments here on this one or any of the other ones you find on the Clips channel. Thank you very much, nerds. We've got other news to discuss in other videos, but while we're getting out of here, don't forget that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.